What it do, Dream Team? Welcome back to the channel. Here we are with another reaction video. In this one we have Joe Rogan clips. The fires in Australia are bigger than you think. Now I've seen videos of these fires in Australia and they are literally gigantic. They travel very, very quickly and it seems like they burn everything in their path. So much respect to all the volunteer firefighters out there in Australia. So much respect to the people of Australia doing as much as they possibly can when these fires strike. They do everything they can, and then once the damage is done, the people in Australia really come together as a community to help each other. For those who may have lost possessions, lost their houses, lost whatever, the people in Australia really come together and they really look out for each other, and I really respect that. Let's dive right in.
The Joe Rogan experience.
Australia's a mess in that sense, like wildlife wise, because there's so many things that are invasive.
This last time we were there, for the first time, I actually went to a sanctuary, one of those places, and with Jeremiah and Joel, and we had a blast, man. There are some crazy animals down there. We held a koala bear.
So dope.
Took a picture with a koala. Let me tell you, I feel like the American version of that animal seems like so cute and like soft and light. It feels like a stuffed animal, what we think a koala is. And we went to take a picture of this thing, and this lady handed me this koala. It was like, it felt like it was tiny, right? Same size that I thought it would be. But the thing was like fucking 3 bowling balls. It was just so heavy, and
It's a bear.
it's a real bear, and this is the thing. And exactly, we call it a
He said it's a real bear.
koala. Oh, it's a koala, but it should be illegal to say it without the word bear attached to it, because let me tell you, this fucking thing, they have to feed these things eucalyptus leaves the entire time.
That's all it eats.
Well, what I didn't know is that that's all it eats, and that's all it does. Like, the second this thing is done with one of the eucalyptus leaves, they have to hand it another one, because you can feel its energy change. It turns its head and it gets like a fucking little bit of a look like these
Like
things.
it's ready to fuck you up.
You have to just keep feeding this. These are like the drug addicts on an IV drip that are starting to feel pain.
He said these are like drug addicts on an IV drip. I didn't know that. I know that all they ate was eucalyptus leaves. I didn't know they ate just constantly, or they just have to keep eating and eating and eating.
Second, they don't have the drip.
Oh, of course. Like, how much nutrition is a goddamn eucalyptus leaf? They probably have to eat them. They have to stuff themselves with it.
Yep, and they're solid as a rock. So think about all that they must,
Oh my god.
And their claws. It's a real bear, man. Which it wasn't until I held that koala in which I realized the true power of what we consider an actual bear.
Oh my god.
Because it's like, that thing's this big, right? And it felt like that. It was that strong and sturdy, and their hands and everything, you feel everything. It makes it, to say it's a ball of muscle would be a tremendous understatement.
Dang.
And honest to God, man, I thought we were going to go take pictures with these koalas because they have the little girl zookeepers and they seem super comfortable and they're giggling and happy and everything, but it ended up being a serious situation. I was scared. I was
hilarious.
Very scared. Jeremiah kept making fun of me because of how scared I was. I'm like, I'm good. She's like, you want to take a group picture with all of you in the bear? I'm like, nah, that was enough.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's they're right now, because of a gigantic wildfire in Australia, they've become functionally extinct, which means that 80% of their range has been destroyed by wildfire.
That's crazy.
See if you can find anything on that. I think my numbers are right. If you see, oh, there you guys.
Yeah, that's us. Look how
That's a
far
nice
away I
picture.
am. Look at my hand. My hand's on Jeremiah's hand.
Good, because it's thinking about biting you. Look, it is like fucking Tony. Fuck you, Tony. It's like ready to bite you, bro. Look. Oh, you guys are all
I'm telling
handsy
you,
with each other. That's a little
you
weird.
can't tell.
There's the final result. Jeremiah and that dude break off. Stop looking.
We're literally laughing about that as it's happening. Like,
Yeah, see if you can pull up the article on them koalas now functionally extinct in Australia, because I think 80% of their range has been destroyed, and you're talking about the only places where they can live and breed, and there's a giant population of them. Koalas aren't functionally extinct, but they need our help. But what did it say? Well, this is one CNET. See, Google koalas are functionally
That's what I
extinct.
did. I looked it up, and that's what popped up.
And these things stink too, by the way. I was obsessed with the smell of eucalyptus.
So there's all these new articles that say they aren't extinct. Okay, so you know what it probably was? I probably got caught up in some scientific clickbait.
Here's the one that says they may be as of May, so people updated it.
But it was
So they aren't. So they aren't functionally extinct. Then they still Gucci. Koala's still good.
really recent. Where are these ones coming from?
CNET.
You're looking at older ones from
No,
May.
man.
See how
CNET,
everything's from
New
May?
York Times, Forbes,
Yeah.
National Geographic.
No. Look, I'm not saying you're wrong, Jamie. What
Yeah.
I'm saying is the older ones, when they're saying they were functionally extinct, was from May, which doesn't totally make sense because were there that many fires in May? Because aren't these fires like real
Well,
recently?
there are a bunch now, yeah.
So most of them are saying no, koalas aren't functionally extinct.
I guess, yeah, it says after there were bushfires, they overstated claims.
Okay. Yeah, so that's what you got to wonder about today, man. Anytime you read an art, like I didn't even read it, right? I just read the heading. That's how they're getting you with everything. That's clickbait, and it's almost like they have to do
Facts.
that. Like if you have a great article
Facts.
but it doesn't have a catchy headline, how many people are gonna? It's almost like
Facts.
you have to come up with something that's
not
almost
lying.
a lie.
Yeah. You have to get their
He's not
attention.
lying.
You have to at least give them the little bit that the article might not even be about. You just have to get them to click. It's like a salesman or a sales
That's it.
job. Or
How often does Australia have fires? If they have a giant one in May, and they have another giant one now, and I was watching a show, some show from Australia where some dude was losing weight, like some fitness show. You know, his wife got him to go on this show, and he's losing all this weight, and he has to do all these exercises and shit. And while they were there, they were worried that they were going to have to evacuate because these giant fires were coming their way. I'm like, how often is Australia on fire? And when that place is on fire, that's a huge place with not that many people.
right. That's
equivalent.
that's exactly.
Oh,
How much has been burned equivalent to a map of America?
that's insane.
New York covers
Dude,
it.
that is insane.
Jesus.
That's insane. We're looking at
That is
most of
insane.
Manhattan and then a giant chunk of New York State.
Yeah, I'm telling you, yeah, from the videos that I've seen, I'm not surprised because those fires they literally have a life of their own and they destroy everything within their path. It's insane how those fires spread so fast and become so huge.
A giant chunk of Pennsylvania. It looks like New Jersey's completely engulfed. That's nuts. Wow. That's a huge patch. And all out into the ocean as well. So that's the thing. Like if you look at it if you pulled way back at the entire continent and looked at that little square, it wouldn't look as big.
Wow, look at that.
Or you can move
Pittsburgh to Cleveland.
Yeah,
in a
but go way
rectangle.
back.
I did that.
Go way small so you can see like the whole continent. So that's how you got to think of Australia. So that's how Australia looks at it. Hopefully he'll get out on his own.
Right.
Not much we can do about it. You got to get rid of these fucking buffalo.
Wouldn't it be fun to just get dropped off somewhere like that with a bunch of just like 30 days worth of stuff in a backpack to survive and just
Sure.
be lost?
Except if you break your ankle.
Right.
And then you're wondering if you're going to die this way.
That could be the future of vacations, right?
Australian
Just throw a
brush
little.
fact check. Are this year's fires unprecedented? Conservative commentators have pointed out a long history of brush fires suggest there is nothing unusual about this season. Experts disagree, so it's even worse this season. Yeah, that's a big chunk of land, man.
That is, and it's absolutely insane though what the damage that those fires can do. But that's all we have for this video. If you guys enjoy that, please don't forget to subscribe, give the video a thumbs up, and check out the next video. See you guys later.